We're on the phone with Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, talking about their new album, Endgame. And Bite the Hand, definitely a shot towards the Wall Street and a bailout era in the United States government.
Yeah, well, I said that because I went to school and I got licensed from the state and federal government in order to work in Wall Street. So I had all the credentials to work for Citigroup, and I actually even went as far as to get a license in insurance so that I can do all of the transactions on Wall Street, including variable annuities. So it was everything from T-bills and bonds and notes to stocks and bonds and all the way to life insurance policies with, like I said, variable annuities, which are kind of like 401ks and things like that.
Well, if you got that high up in Wall Street, I guarantee you could probably be as successful as you are now, get it all thrown away, and then we'll just throw money back to you somehow.
Well, one thing is for sure, I'm not a stupid musician. I think that our fans know that. That's one of the beautiful things that's happened to me over my career is that I've really flexed my muscle in my mind and was able to sing about things that are stimulating to our fans and stuff that's provocative. You know, it's not controversial just for the sake of being controversial. You know, there are so many people that do that they become, they try and be unpredictable on every record to the point where they're predictably unpredictable. And to me, that just kind of gives you an indication you know what to expect, you know. You know with a certain guy that's a redheaded frontman that there's going to be the F word that's going to be on his record. That's just for sure. You know when you put in certain types of music that it's going to be degrading towards women, and that's just the way that it is.
I think you put it perfect when you said they become predictably unpredictable. I know exactly what you're saying. You couldn't have said it any better.
Yep.
We're on the phone with Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, The Right to Go Insane. I believe that is the last track on the album, number 11. From the point of view of the average American struggling to make ends meet?
When that song was penned, I had myself... again, trying to be a philanthropist of some sort to help people get a leg up, whether it's by, sharing some knowledge that I've got or actually doing the footwork. You know, we've done stuff like with the coffee company I used to be involved with. We were giving percentage of the profits went to a charity. It was an orphanage in Mexico. So we really like to get involved with people and help them give something back to them. One of the things with being able to work on Wall Street and stuff like that, it just feels good to know that there are other ways where you can be successful in the music business without having to take advantage of your fans by putting out records that are just basically crap. And granted, we're not a band that is a huge radio band. We never have been, but we do have success there. We're really looking forward to whatever this record brings. The record is a complete smash success right now for us. I mean, even websites that are notorious for hating Megadeth, like Blabbermouth, we got 8.5 out of 10 there. I mean, go figure. And they even said something that was kind towards me, saying, well, maybe it's time for us to take a lesson from Professor Dave. And I'm thinking, huh? I guess hell must be frozen.
Pigs are flying in the air.
Right. Well, I just heard that there's a magazine, a very high-ranking, established institution magazine in the UK. One of the guys there said that Megadeth is better than Metallica. And I was like, oh my God. The next thing you know, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be 16 again, and I'll have somebody really hot and young laying in my bed.
Now, that's the thing. Whenever anybody talks to you, I don't know how many times, I don't even want to think of how many times they bring up Metallica. Is it just countless? Does it get annoying after some point?
No, it depends on what they're talking about. If it's the he said, she said stuff, that's not, that's not okay because they weren't there. But if it's stuff like talking about anything that was to happen currently or in the future, it's total speculation and it's up in the air. I really don't like talking about it because I have a new record out and I've heard both records. I think mine's better, and that's not a dig at them. It's just that's how I feel. And I know that they've got a lot of records that are better than the stuff I've put out, but not all of it, and certainly not the stuff that we've made together.
We're on the phone with Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, and you just brought up the Metallica thing. I have to ask you, have you actually been approached to do the Big Four tour? Because
that's
I know,
just a rumor.
Yeah, I had to ask you because Kerry King was saying stuff, Trujillo was saying stuff, and you never know who to believe.
It's just a rumor.
You were on Jimmy Fallon last week.
Yeah, that was great. That's when we found out for sure that it's just a rumor, because my manager met with their agent, and he said there's nothing. So if their agent doesn't even know about it, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's from the horse's mouth right there. The Jimmy Fallon thing, I thought that was killer because his show, notoriously, since its inception, has targeted a younger audience than, say, the Leno before his new show, now Letterman. And it most likely exposed Megadeth to maybe some people of younger ages that haven't seen Megadeth before. Do you see a resurgence of the popularity of the metal music as a genre?
I certainly do, especially with a lot of new bands that are coming out, too. They're more and more they're influenced by the classic metal influences, like stuff that influenced me, or the stuff that was around in the wave of metal bands that came out that I was part of.
Yeah, I heard you guys were going to be on Jimmy Fallon, man, and I TiVoed it, watched it about 4 times. Perfect performance of Head Crusher. I love the way he does that with the people around the back and everything. Kind of gives the actual concert feel instead of just a talk show, you know what I mean?
I don't think Sean's ass enjoyed that too much.
They might have seen some plumbers crack a little bit, huh?
Yeah, well, Sean's a pretty big guy, so I'm sure he's probably not too thrilled with that.
And speaking of members of the band, Glenn Drover's not on this album. You've got Chris Broderick. What was the difference in recording with him for Endgame?
Well, Glenn's super talented. He's a fun guy to be around, but there's just a total difference. When you get that good as Glenn is, it's really hard to surpass that. Like when you're in the last 3%, the difference between 97, 98, 99, and 100%, those last few percentiles are so much harder. Exponentially, they're way more difficult than any one integer. It's like maybe 5 times as hard to make one step from 97 to 98, and so on. So the difference between Chris and Glenn, while it may have been only 1 or 2%, that's at this level in the game, again, exponentially, it shows you that Chris is a bona fide genius on guitar. Now, people have said really flattering things about me and how smart I am and stuff like that. I'm smart enough to know Chris is way better than I am, and that when people come to watch us play live, they should get a good seat so that they can see both of us. And although it's fun to be right in the middle, because we walk all over the stage, that's one of the things I taught these guys, was that, we want to make sure that there's not a bad seat in the house. But, try and focus on Chris, too. Watch what he does, because he's just, he is an absolute, he's just a gift to the metal community right now.
You just had your 48th birthday on the 13th. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you've lost a step at all?
No, absolutely not. I've been doing, you know what, it's funny, I watched one of those crazy things on TV, one of those workout things on TV, and I thought, shoot, man, you know what, I'm a martial artist, I can do this stuff, and I got this one program, and it was really hard to get into the thing, and then I finally did it again and stayed committed, and I'm feeling better right now than I felt in the last 15 years. I mean, you'd have to go back to when I was kickboxing every day with Sensei Benny for me to say that I feel this vibrant and alive. I mean, I feel like I could jump 2 or 3 feet off the ground at any given moment, no problem.
Well, Dave, we look forward to seeing you prove the fitness, prove your guitarist, Chris, and prove Endgame at the Orbit Room on November 14th. We thank you again for the phone call, man. We really appreciate it. We'll see you, Dave.
Be well.